Hey there, tech lovers. Welcome to Cyber Monday, the show where we explore the incredible, exciting, and sometimes downright mind-blowing world of technology. I'm your host, Tia James, and we've got a packed episode for you today. From a deep dive into foldable tech to AI-powered language learning tools, and even a look at robots taking over agriculture, don't worry, in a good way. Let's get started. Foldable devices, remember when flip phones were all the rage? Well, they are back, but with a futuristic twist. Today, in Tech Review, we're looking at how foldable tech is evolving and what it means for the future of mobile computing. We have the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Fold, a foldable laptop redefining portable computing. And lastly, the Oppo Find N3 Flip, a compact option for those who love the flip phone aesthetic but want cutting-edge features. Are these devices a glimpse into the future or just a flashy trend? Let's take a closer look.
Two years ago, Lenovo launched the first laptop with a flexible display. And while it was a nice idea, the software was a bit awkward and the device was a little bit on the chunky side. But now, on the second gen X1 Fold, Lenovo has some major improvements packed inside. The first major upgrade on the new X1 Fold is a bigger 16.3-inch OLED display from Sharp. Not only does it have a slightly higher 2.5K resolution, but the larger screen also means you have significantly more screen space when it's fully deployed. More importantly, when folded up, you now get a device that's closer to a 12-inch clamshell instead of a 10-inch notebook like we got on the previous model. On top of that, Lenovo redesigned the X1 Fold's Bluetooth keyboard. Now it uses the same keys the company uses on the ThinkPad X1 Nano, so you get a longer and cushier actuation. It also has a new fingerprint sensor that works with Windows Hello. And while you can still lay the keyboard on top of the bottom half of the Fold in laptop mode, it also attaches magnetically to the base of the system when it's resting on its included stand, which supports both landscape and portrait orientation. Another big change is that instead of storing the keyboard inside the Fold, it magnetically attaches to the stand to become a single piece that's easier to manage. So when you need to pack up, all you have to do is tilt the stand forward until it docks with the keyboard, bend the Fold in half, and then just slam everything together. Lenovo says this change was made in response to feedback from customers who prefer using the system more like a portable all-in-one instead of a traditional convertible laptop. And because there isn't space inside the system for a keyboard anymore, Lenovo was also able to install a new fold flat hinge, so everything is sleeker and more compact. It's almost like the X1 Fold has spent the last 2 years going to the gym and coming up with a fresh, custom-tailored outfit. For the new generation, Lenovo also wanted to improve the Fold's serviceability, so it's easy to replace things like its SSD, batteries, and other components in the field. Unfortunately, the X1 Fold still isn't water resistant, but it should still be pretty rugged as the Fold remains subject to the same mil-spec 810G testing required on other ThinkPads. I also really appreciate some of Lenovo's little touches, like the addition of a third USB-C port and an improved location for the Fold's IR webcam, so that it's more useful across all of its modes. Lenovo even added a third speaker so that regardless of orientation, you still get full stereo audio with support for Dolby Atmos. As for performance, we're looking at a serious jump up in processing power, with the Fold supporting up to a 12th gen Intel Core i7 U series CPU while still featuring a completely fanless design. Meanwhile, for those worried about the short battery life on the previous model, Lenovo has even made room for an optional 16 watt-hour power cell to supplement the standard 48 watt-hour battery. And because Windows 11 has much better support for various layouts and window snapping, for my brief time with the new X1 Fold, everything felt significantly smoother and more responsive. So even though we're checking out a pre-production device, I really like what I've seen so far. This thing has seriously slimmer bezels, way better software, and a much slicker design. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait until sometime in Q4 to really check this thing out in person when it goes on sale for around $2,500. But until then, stay tuned to Engadget for more news, reviews, and hands-ons.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, I want to share with you a little bit more about the brand new, newly launched Oppo Find N3 Flip. Now if you just take a look at the design, it might remind you of the Find N2 Flip, which is its predecessor, that also comes with a huge cover screen at the front. So what's really new with this device and what can you expect from this new flip phone? Well, let's find out all about that today. Now first and foremost, I think I should talk a little bit about the design. We have 3 different colors today. And of course, we do have the cream, the pink, as well as the black. Me personally, I do like the black version very much. I think it's super classy. Just take a look at how the black actually reflects whenever light hits it. It kind of reminds me of sort of a chrome kind of feel, but I really like the black colorway on the Find N3 Flip. Another very important thing that you should know here is that the phone itself, because of its entire mechanism, the hinge itself has been updated. There's actually virtually no gaps in between as well, and that means that the phone is able to get an IPX4 splash resistant rating. So let's say, for example, you're out in the rain, you got a couple of splashes onto your Find N3 Flip. You don't have to worry about that because it is being protected. Alright, so another really cool thing about the design is that we do now have a slider, an alert slider on the side, and again, I'm very happy to see that here because I'm a very strong supporter of physical switches. So I'm very happy to see that this alert slider is here, and of course it's been super useful through the past few days of my use with this phone. Anyways, done with the design, let's talk a bit more about its real specialty here, and that's all about the cover screen on the front. Now what's so special about this cover screen? Well, essentially the screen itself is designed to help you out in not just your personalizations, it's got a lot of cool things going on for it, and of course, and the second part is all about its productivity users. So Oppo is saying that this is actually the best way to implement a cover screen on a flip phone because it is in a vertical layout. Not only is it in a vertical layout, but it actually comes with an aspect ratio of 17:9, and if you are sharp-eyed, you would notice that the aspect ratio here is actually very similar to your typical, your bar phone, your smartphone. So it's actually very easy to navigate on the cover screen. You don't have to experience a very challenging learning curve. All you need to do is just like any other phone, you just swipe towards the left, and there you will be able to see your mini apps, and that is where you have a lot of different applications that you can actually install and have them running directly on the cover screen. Other than that, if you just drag down from the top, this is where you get into your control center. That means there is all your quick shortcuts. Again, very easy to use. And if you just glide up from the bottom, this is where you'll get into your list of notifications. So pretty easy to use there. Other than that, there's also a couple of shortcuts that you can actually customize. So I have my selfie camera as well as my Telegram already pre-installed here. So you can choose any kind of apps here that you can put on the cover screen so that you have quick access to it. So overall, just in terms of using it, navigating through it, there's no learning curve. It's super easy and intuitive to use, just like you would do so on the screen on the inside. Now moving on, let's talk a little bit about these mini apps and what kind of apps can you actually install and what kind of apps are actually great to use on this cover screen. Well, again, like I said, because we have a great aspect ratio over here, naturally most of the apps will actually work, although you can't put every single app on the cover screen yet, but Oppo is adding apps slowly one by one. Now a couple of my favorite ones here are actually my Telegram. So say if I want to go into Telegram, I just tap into it, I can see my entire list of conversations, go into the conversation, reply with a full keyboard directly from the cover screen. The second favorite app that I have here is actually my Gmail. Now Gmail is actually very useful because you can actually go into the app itself. It works just like the full native app, guys. There's no sort of like optimizations or a dumbed down version. This is the full app running directly on the cover screen, and I think that is also great. Other than that, we also have the Maps, which again I think is super useful for navigation. So say for example, if you're just out and about, you want to use a Maps really quickly, you can do that. And last but not least, my favorite one here has to be the YouTube app because you can run like full screen YouTube videos directly from the cover screen, and I just think it's a fun thing to play with since you have this kind of flip phone. It makes use of the cover screen on the outside, and like I said, there's just a lot of apps that you can use. Oh, one more cool one is of course TikTok as well. You can glide and swipe through your TikTok directly from the cover screen, so very useful aspect ratio.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with the entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Ever wished learning a new language could be easier? In today's Bites of Brilliance, we're exploring AI-powered tools that make mastering a new language faster, more personalized, and, dare I say, fun. Apps like Duolingo Max now use AI to simulate conversations, helping users practice speaking with lifelike scenarios. Meanwhile, Lingvist leverages AI to analyze your learning patterns and customize lessons to your skill level. And then there's HelloTalk, which connects you with native speakers and offers AI-based corrections to improve your fluency. These tools aren't just changing how we learn, they are breaking down language barriers.
Hey, Bonsayo here, and today we're going to be looking at an app called Lingvist, Learn Languages Fast. I love that in our modern world, it's easier than ever to learn things like new languages. The app that I personally use to learn languages is Duolingo. And I think Duolingo does a very good job at personalizing and also making the process of learning easy. I reviewed it a while back. You can check out that video. For today, this is what I'm going to be comparing Duolingo to. It's called Lingvist. So let's open it and see whether we can learn a language. I've already signed up. And this is what the user interface looks like. You have this homepage, content at the bottom. You also have the learn button, insights, and you have account. I also selected the language of Spanish. That's the one I'm interested in learning because it's going to be easy for me to compare this to Duolingo because I'm also learning Spanish on Duolingo. So let me tap the learn button here. And this is how it's unique. This is how the process of learning works. So it asks you whether you know the word. It doesn't, I don't know, show you other options. So L, and then there's a blank space, so it's asking me to fill in the word day. I don't know what the word day is, so I'm gonna tap the word learn word. So it says dia. Now I know that in Spanish a day is called dia, and I can type that. Enter. So it says correct answer, and then it says I need to add the diacritics.
El día.
Okay, continue. I won't add them. I won't make them compulsory for now. So la. So it asks me to fill the word part. I don't know what that is. La parte.
La
There we are.
parte.
And then article. La. I think la. Yeah. Nice job. You found a synonym or a very similar word. It's trying to teach a different word, so give it another shot. Okay. La is L.
El.
Okay, there it is. I know that. So L example. I'm gonna guess this one. I don't know what the word is. Example.
Ejemplo.
Ejemplo.
El
There it is.
ejemplo.
And if I increase the volume a bit, you'll be able to hear that it also pronounces the word for you, so you know what's how it's pronounced. Forma.
La forma.
La forma. So the country, what's the country? I'm not sure what that is.
País.
So, país.
El país.
El país. The world, I think that is el
Mundo.
mundo. Okay.
El mundo.
El mundo. It's a very interesting style because it's just teaching you how to learn with words. In Duolingo, you're mostly kind of answering questions, but it also has its own way of teaching you.
Año.
The year, año.
El año.
El año. So there is la,
La.
feminine. Yes. Una. Uno. I'm
Vez.
guessing. Vez. Okay.
Una vez.
Okay, so I think you guys can get the idea of how this learning process works. Let me just try to switch languages so we can try maybe French from English to see how this is gonna work. So I'm starting this one afresh. Can you say life in French? Viva? I don't know. Let me say yes and try to guess. I think vivo is in Spanish, so
La vie.
La vie. Thing, I
Chose.
don't know thing. Chose.
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 La chose.
I really like this kind of style. It's actually very interesting. I'm learning words actually.
Monde.
The world, I don't know. Monde. So it's mundo in Spanish and it's monde in French.
Monde.
Oh, sorry. Monde.
Le monde.
Monde. Le monde.
Jour.
The day. Jour.
Le jour.
Le jour. The work. I think it's travail.
Travail.
Hey, travail.
Le travail.
Le travail. La man is l'homme.
L'homme.
Yes. The woman is femme. La femme.
La femme.
La femme. The name is
Non.
let's check. La nom.
Le nom.
Le nom. La femme.
La femme.
La femme. House.
Maison.
Maison.
La maison.
Okay. So I guess you guys can see that the idea now is that it sets you up so that you can learn every single day. You can go through a bunch of words. So and then it shows you like a streak. You can see the statistics. Let's look at some of the content they offer. So you can choose vocabularies to learn. You have a deck here, general language, enable deck. So I haven't tried that one. A weekend in Paris. Okay. A weekend in Paris. You have insights here. So my progress. These are the words which I have currently just been showing you guys. These are the ones I've gone through today. You can see the calendar, so you can also see how committed you are to the to the process of learning. And the cool thing about modern technology is you don't have to spend that much time doing things like these. You can probably spend about 10 minutes, 20 minutes every day. And after a few years, you'll actually find that you've actually learned a language. And that time is time you would have probably spent on TikTok or something. So I'm currently learning this general language, as you can see. It's here from the content. And so whenever I just want to learn French or Spanish, I can come here, switch back to Spanish. And la house. House is casa.
La casa.
La casa. You see? And then I just continue like that. So that's Linguist. That's how this process works. I really like it. I think it's unique. And I'm actually going to give it a try for the next few days to see whether I'm going to stick with it. But it's something I recommend for you. If we come here and go to the pricing, you can see that it's going to cost $39.99 per year. Now, I don't think you should pay for this. I don't think you should pay for this. Duolingo is free if you're actually interested in learning. And I will actually see the limits of this. I think you can actually end up experiencing or learning a lot of words here for free without necessarily paying. But if it becomes something that you're committed to, then by all means, you can consider paying. So that's it for Linguist. Please check out the app. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Free apps are convenient, but they often come with hidden costs in the form of your data. In today's Code Red, we're diving into how some free apps might be compromising your privacy. Did you know that many free apps make money by collecting and selling your data to advertisers? From location tracking to personal preferences, the information you share, often unknowingly, can be used to create detailed profiles about you. We'll look at some red flags to watch out for and ways to protect your data while still enjoying your favorite apps.
So hey guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another Blog Tech Tips. In today's tutorial guys, I'll try to show you on the S22. As you can see here, this is S22. So I'll apply to the S22, S22 Plus, S22 Ultra. And of course this tutorial has to do with the permission manager on your device. So in other words, I'm going to show you to easily manage permissions on your device. This applies to the 22. It also applies to older devices, S20, S10, S20, 21 and so on. Alright. So if you have any of these newer devices, they should apply. So of course, as you know, every app on your device needs permission for specific tasks. In most cases, in order to grant a permission, I may grant a permission to individual apps. I can always go to settings, apps, and then find what permissions the app has. But I'm going to show you an easier way to manage your permissions. All right, so let me first show you the usual way that we usually go. We go to settings, we usually go to apps, as I just mentioned. So usually we go into apps. We usually go to apps. Once we're in apps, next what we do is to choose any particular app. So let's say Airbnb here. Then usually if we look on here, we see permissions, and you'll see it says only nearby device is allowed through Bluetooth, but it doesn't allow any of these that it can ask for. All right, so those are the typical, and usually these are the ones that are there. Now, of course, I'm going to show you another way, which is way more detail. All apps usually have a similar setup like that one. So in order to control all permissions in an easier way, go to settings. Next, you're going to go to privacy. And I find this one is easier. Go to permission manager. Now, this one is the reverse. And what it does in permission manager is allows you to choose basically a particular feature of your device and see all the apps that has connection to that particular feature. So let's say, for example, if we were to look for camera, you notice here, sorry, if we were to look for camera, not call log, sorry, I missed. You'll notice here it says these are allowed all the time. No app is allowed all the time according to my permission. Allowed only while in use. And you can see Bixby, camera, Duo, Messenger, or messages, phone, Telegram, WhatsApp. All right, and not allowed. You can see these are all the apps that are not allowed. There's a whole list. So from here, if I wanted to, I could grant permission by finding an app. All right, so for example, if one of these are not allowed, I could say Brave, for example, and I can say allow while using, or I can say ask every time, or do not allow. So as you can see here, each app is specifically listed and it's easier. If you have one that's already granted, I can always go in, and then of course I can also look at all the apps, all the permissions for that particular app, or I can just revoke permission. It's much easier to manage permissions from this area here, where you see all of the areas that apps can access, and you can keep an overall eye on every particular app on what specifically it's asking to use on your device. All right, so this one is much easier. Most people know the other way through a specific app, but I just want to highlight the permission manager to make things much easier. All right, so I'm going to end this tutorial here. As always, guys, recorded from Blog Tech Tips. Same bye until next time. Bye.
And now for Tech Tickle. Today, we're spotlighting some tech that's a little extra. First up, the Hushme Voice Mask, a device that lets you have private conversations in public by muffling your voice. Then there's the Smart Toothbrush, which connects to an app and gives you real-time feedback on your brushing technique.
Haven't found that perfect wearable yet? Neither has DT's irascible tech critic Andy Boxall, but he did find a wide-ranging selection of just plain weirdness at the London Wearable Tech event, and none weirder than this fine-looking apparatus called the Hushme. Yes, it's pretty much what you think it is, a device to keep your phone conversations private in close quarters. Mom calling? No need to whisper into the phone, just make like Bane and talk away while the muzzle and masking sounds keep your conversation about the latest family drama on the down low. Earbuds route sound to your ears, and Hushme uses passive voice suppression and active voice masking technology to give you a virtual cone of silence. And that voice masking? Choose from 9 different masks, including wind, rain, ocean, monkey, and more, including apropos options like Darth Vader, R2-D2, and Minion. In their video, Hushme asks if you've ever been uncomfortable talking on the phone in public places. Well, sure, but not as uncomfortable as wearing a Hushme might make us. Still, it's pretty cool tech, and we've got more information at the link, along with some other oddities Andy found while wandering the back hallways of the event. Good show, Andy.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@inimage.com.na.
That's a wrap for this episode of Cyber Monday. We've explored foldable tech, learned how to protect our data, and even got a laugh from some quirky gadgets. Thanks for spending your time with us, and don't forget to follow us on social media for more updates and behind-the-scenes content. Until next time, I'm Tia James, reminding you to stay curious, stay innovative, and keep pushing the boundaries of tech. See you next week.